Come on, please, please. Good morning, guys. We actually just entered the second trade of the funded account, and it's actually Monday, July 29th. Did not end up taking any other trades that last week, so what you saw on that video, my last video, was literally all I did. There weren't really any trades. The only trade I saw was Thursday, but it just wasn't good enough quality for my second trade of this challenge. This one pretty much have that liquidity wick that I'm betting on that will be a good support for this trade, but we'll see. It is a little bit early, so we may not have the volume to make this push right now, but we could get a little pullback before we continue further up. So just waiting for that. I'll keep you guys posted on the trade as it develops, and we'll catch you later. And one thing you guys will notice is that I'm using one contract since I have a larger stop loss for this one, which means I cannot use the partial stop loss, partial take profit, but completely fine. And then depending on if where this pulls back to, I may add one more contract. It would still make it to where I'm not violating the DCA rule. So we may do that on this because I do feel like we have a good setup to move further up, but we'll see. I don't know if we're going to be bouncing back to my stop loss before we move up, or if this will be the spot where we make maybe another support. Ideally above, there's a 4-hour resistance that's pretty much right here. So if we can kind of maintain above that, I'll be pretty confident in the trade. But it's still very early, and when I took this trade, I knew there would probably be a little bit of drawdown, a little pullback, but I wanted to make sure I'd rather be in the trade given the setup and with a wider stop than to miss out on an opportunity that could be a pretty big move. So, all right, catch you guys later. And I talked about this in my last video. I moved on over to the 4 hours so you guys can see what I mean by this. But one thing that I like to do with my stop is to base it around where the key 4-hour candle points are. So basically, with how I have my stop, what that means is that the only way I could lose this trade is if the 4-hour candle flips after being bullish for the majority of the 4 hours so far. That is kind of where we're at right now. 4-hour will close at 9 a.m. That is my expectation, that the 4-hour will stay bullish for the remainder of the candle, and then that will propel my actual position forward here. So, all right, later. And then since I don't have the partial stop loss, partial take profit, you may be asking, how am I going to manage this? I may be using just trailing stops for this position since we only have one position to take off unless I add another one at some point. So that's what you should probably expect to see here. I'm just going to be waiting for candle closures and then be adjusting my stop as I see where candles are closing. So we'll see. It's still very early. I want to try to be in here for at least another hour, depending on, because it seems to be moving pretty slow, but I'm just hoping it can maintain that upwards momentum here. So just another quick update on this trade. Essentially did exactly what I was saying earlier. It didn't immediately try to reach new highs. We did get a little pullback, but like I said, that's why I took only one contract, because I was expecting possibly more of a pullback before the move that I wanted. So we'll see. There's still not a reason for me to do anything with any of the stops or anything like that, so we'll just have to go from there. And then just have the 5-minute on TradingView right now, just checking that out. I don't really ever execute on the 5-minute, but sometimes it's just fun to watch the trade play out on the 5. So kind of matching the trend line that I drew out last night. So we'll see if it can continue up and I can move my stop to break even and just see how far this trade can go, because pretty decent upside if we can actually maintain above this level, but we're still very early in the trade. All right, guys, so we're getting a pretty nice move up here now. Still not really considering closing or doing anything with the position yet. So basically just a set and forget type of trade right now. I just want to see where this candle goes. So really, ideally, I don't want to have to do anything until 9 a.m. with this trade. Yeah, we'll just have to see how everything's forming and see if we can continue pushing up here. All right, we are still holding, guys, just about $80 in profit, but obviously trying to get a little bit more out of this move here, especially since after all of this kind of consolidation for the last like 45 minutes, we've finally seen a strong move in a strong direction that it wants to go. So ideally we can just continue to my limit order right here, close the trade there, and that would net me about 365. But we'll have to see, because I think best case is this candle kind of stays in this area, the next candle comes back, makes that bottom wick, and then maybe I can trail my stop below that bottom wick from the next candle. So that'd be ideal situation, but I'm still kind of just seeing how this pans out. Appreciate you guys watching. We will be back whenever something else happens. All right, guys, I did decide to break even this trade with the amount of pullback that this had here. I don't anticipate this to break this low, just given this is on the 5-minute. But if it does, that would indicate to me that we're probably going to do a deeper retest. And at this point, as we're getting closer to the 930, I really don't want to be in drawdown as we approach 930. So that being said, I decided to break even the trade. So we'll still make probably a couple dollars, but the main goal is that my trade idea is that with that movement, we should not get a full retracement of this entire candle. At most, we should maybe get down to here, and we'll see right now. It could take me out, or it could just make a little bottom wick right here and head back up. So we will just have to see here. I'll just leave it running for a bit. I may just mute myself, but you guys can just see what's going on here. Again, this is the 5-minute, so the 30 minutes, still pretty healthy, but again, if it goes down to where my stop loss is, that pretty much indicates that'd be a pretty wacky 30-minute flip. Like if it gets that low, you would expect it to probably completely flip on the 30. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to prevent, because if that happens, that'd be a pretty bad candle to be in for a buy, because that'd be like, it basically went up 56 ticks and then it flipped. That'd be kind of wacky. So that's why we're just break evening it, so I just don't lose regardless, and gonna wait on our hands until we figure out what happens. So it looks like we may have, this is the best case. If we can make structure here, this might be, I might be holding this for a while, guys, but we'll see. I really need this to make structure here, because if we can make structure at these candles, my stop loss is safe and I just let this run, no risk on the table. These are my favorite trades, guys, especially since I don't have, I'm only using one contract. We basically just have to stop loss, take profit it, but you can still use trailing stops to kind of mitigate your risk here, which is what I'm doing now. Just trailed that to entry price. So we'd make about $20. And how much was the fee? Yeah, make about $15 if it hits the stop loss. So better than losing money after being up. I was only up about 200. And again, I said I wanted to hold this one. This is the second trade of our funded account here. We will start holding trades longer. All right, it's heading up. It's 145 on the day for the account. And again, we're just gonna hold. I think I'm just gonna keep trailing the stop up, because now this candle is pretty strong, but we don't want to rely too much on the lower time frames. I mainly do these just because it's kind of fun to see how the candles move, and you can kind of pick up some trends on the 5, but 30-minute is mainly what I'm focused on though. I really just want this to finish pretty much where it's at, and then maybe the next candle will go to the final position, or if we just start heading up now, that'd be fine as well. Are we gonna get taken out? Oh shit. Hey, yo. Did everybody see that? I really don't want to have to take profit early just because I have one contract. If I had two, it'd make more sense because I'd still have some on the table for the remaining move. But just given how it's moving, I think we could continue up here. But if not, we'll just break even it. Dang. See how the 4 hours looking. 4 hours pretty extended. But I mean, not really. It's kind of a smaller 4-hour candle, so definitely more room to go up, but I mean, it's closing in 10 minutes. Either 1 hour. And that's another pretty good spot for the stop loss. So basically, your stop losses should tell a story. So what are you saying with the stop loss that you have? So I'm saying that if this candle flips, I don't want to be in this position anymore. So if this candle goes up, 44 ticks and then flips after that, then that's probably not a position I want to be in. Same thing with the 30 flips, and if the 5 basically breaks structure as well. So that's where my stop loss is. If it comes like pretty close down here, I may just exit just to get a few more bucks, but yeah. And that's probably going to be dumping like a shit ton now. All right, guys, so that was a break even trade. Just wanted to manage that tightly because I didn't really like how it, if I had more size on the trade, it would have been easier to, I had about what, 50 ticks, but with lower size, I just had to hold it longer. And I definitely, given the time, I would not want to be in, this would basically, with how these candles are forming, this would basically indicate to me that I would be in drawdown right as 930 hits. And then what happens then? Then it goes down, hits my stop completely after I was up. So I decided to go ahead and just take the break even. You guys saw, I talked about why I chose to do it that way the entire time. So only made about $20 today. Not too bad. I'm not too upset about that because I did exactly what I said I was going to do. The chart moved exactly how I thought it would. It just didn't move as high as I wanted it to. And that's pretty much a wrap on that trade. So come on, please, please. Nah, just kidding, guys. I'm out of the trade, as you saw, but that's why you get out. This is a perfect example. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. So again, just only $20 made today, which I'm completely fine with because I could have just, you know, lost $500 if I stayed in that trade. So all right, we will catch you tomorrow and we will try to find another solid trade. All right, peace. Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 2 of the series where I'm recording every trade until I get my first apextraderfunding payout. And this is just a wrap up of last week. So as you see, my balance has improved. We're at 637 now. But let me go ahead and break down the trade that got me there. I ended up taking a trade on Friday, and it actually was as I was walking out the door for work, which is why I did not get this on. I literally was grabbing my keys as I hit the sell button. That's how it was not a, I would say this was not a high quality setup to start with. The candle that I entered on was actually right after a candle with no bottom wick. I said in my previous videos, I don't normally enter trades like that, but I don't know. I think I just had a feeling that the entire day was just going to tank. So I did enter, faced some drawdown, and actually added one more contract before it went up a large amount. Literally almost tanked the account, and then it finally did make the move that I was anticipating, and it's actually been going down since. So that was not honestly a good trade. I would say that was a B to B plus. I would say it was like a B trade possibly. It was definitely not an A, so I should not have taken it, but I just, you know, so you got to do what you got to do sometimes, and I just really had a feeling the trade would work out, but it was a terrible entry to be honest. So just kind of lucky that it didn't tank the account, and just gonna write that in my journal, make sure we don't take those types of trades again. So that was the end of the week. Made about $468 on Friday, and looks like this week we're probably going to be sitting on our hands for a bit just to see where this chart wants to go. One thing you guys will notice is that it's basically not giving us any pullback, and it's not even matching any of the predictions that I had last night. It's actually just moving down without any type of pullback, so there's not really an entry for me. Most likely will not be trading today, just given how this is looking, but never say never. So we will keep you guys posted. Appreciate you watching, and have a good one.